Millions upon millions upon millions of dollars. The GOP, the appropriations bills, they are putting in millions of dollars for gun control measures. Why do these people never learn? They are literally putting in, you know what? I'm going to show you here in 1 second. You need to know how many millions of dollars are going towards what, and you can do that right now. Everything will be linked in the description box below. Make sure you send this one out, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, turn the notification bell on, and guys, every time you do, you get to cause the paper cut to the nearest liberal gun controller near you with lemon juice handy like this. Every single time you hit the subscribe, like, chat, or emoji, it happens. That could be you. All right, let's get into this. Guys, we're going to dive over on my X profile at Braden LOA. So make sure you jump over there because we are going in and out every crevice of the internet, pursuing freedom and driving tyranny away as the dark of the night through the sun rising over the horizon or whatever. All right, that could have been better. All right, listen, guys. I got to show you one of the most important tools we use here between me and Katie. Ground.news/Langley. Remember that. There will be a link in the description box below. Ground.news not only tells you what's going on, it tells you who's behind it, tells you the why behind their coverage. For example, Caroline Leavitt details $200 million for a ballroom plan at the White House. That kind of, for some reason, captured the left's attention today. 91 sources are covering it. Shows you the distribution, center, right, and left. Then it shows you the bias and who actually owns it. Guys, that's just the first half. There's a description for the Vantage program right down there in the description box. This is something that will be helpful, particularly with the blind spot, which shows you what the other side is focusing on. For example, right here, the left is focusing on appeals court, and the right is focusing on the Palestinian state rewarding Hamas. Guys, there's something for everybody. It's a quintessential tool. Link in the description, 40% off of the Vantage, and let's get into this. All right, listen. There's a few things that I have to dive into, but first, let's explore our opponents. I'm just going to call him Gunther. Gunther the Antifa. All right, listen to what Gunther says about our gun rights.
You don't go hunting for deer with an AR.
When the founding fathers defined freedom, they didn't think that ARs were going to be part of it.
Or black people.
Yeah.
Or people of color.
What? Okay. That was some programming that snuck out in the wrong point. So the founding fathers didn't think that we'd have AR-15s. No, they probably also didn't think that we would have the email in the internet. But they still put the need in there for that First Amendment, that whole freedom of speech thing. It's weird how they almost didn't know what was coming, but they knew how important the principle of free speech was. It's kind of like that principle of the Second Amendment. We didn't know what was coming down the road, but we needed the principle in place to prevent tyranny, or in this case, absolute morons like Antifa Gunther right here. Let's continue. I digress. Let me show you the numbers here. So this is coming from GOA, all right? I'm going to read you some things that were before they added $12.5 million. Again, this is Senate GOP. This is not the Dems. This is Senate GOP. There's a reason I'm telling you this. Gun Owners of America, a couple of minutes ago. Senate Appropriations GOP proposes $12+ million in renewed funding for anti-gun research. GOA has already exposed the following grants. This is separate from the 12.5. That's why I said millions upon millions in the intro. $3.6 million to study firearm retirement for seniors. What? That's none of your business. $1.2 million for check-ins on guns at home. Read between the lines. $2.1 million to study firearm possession by Asian Americans. Just ask the rooftop Koreans. $1.1 million on gun ownership and risk. How about we do gun ownership and the risk of not having gun ownership? Because hashtag tyranny. $650,000 on firearm prohibitions and relinquishments. Wow, this is sounding great. $333,000 to promote effective gun confiscation laws and wait periods. Senate GOP, what in the actual hell are you doing? Promote effective gun confiscation laws and wait periods? $428,000 on how crime reports reinforce racist stereotypes. If you did it, you did it. I don't care if you're purple, brown, people eater. I don't care. Why do we do this stupid crap? All of it gets reallocated to gun control in one way, form, shape, or the other. That's what they do. That's why this is so important. I'll elaborate that on in a second. More on that in a second. $518,000 for firearm storage and confiscation laws. Well, that'd be safe storage laws. That's like Ethan's law. $490,000 to compare states' gun policies. I could do that for free right here on the internet. $349,000 to show if firearm laws reduce mortality. How about this, Senate GOP appropriations? You give me $3 million of those dollars right there, and I'll do all that for you like that. I'll have it done in a day and a half. If Katie helps, I'll have it done in about a day. This is the problem. When they appropriate this kind of money and these amounts of funds to this ambiguous nature of gun research, gun health, all that happens is they end up using it for gun control purposes because the money is just sitting there. It's not like they go in here and they say, well, this is going to happen by this timestamp and this day, and this is what's happening, and this is where it's going to go, and here's a checklist. It's not how it works. It works by, here's the $12 million. It's meant for this, so let it sit right over there. Well, next administration comes in, or the next time the Congress decides to do something, comes in and goes, hey, we got $12 million sitting right there. How about we reallocate that? That's what they do. And now, a possible $12.5 million coming back in right here. As you can see in the article, the bill, $12.5 million is provided for firearm injury and mortality prevention research. Be more vague. Guys, this is why we have to change the culture in our nation. We cannot have Republicans who go by and put this kind of crap in and then say they're pro 2A or they're even remotely close to 2A on the other side to get your votes. This is unacceptable. You can't even... Confiscation should not be in a word anything to do with 2A at all, ever. Nope. Should not be the word. Nope, no. It's just asinine. And that's just the first thing I'm showing you. I'm going to go in right now to something else GOA put up, which is on my to-do list. This is another important one because now the Trump administration and the DOJ is getting a little squirrely on the gun rights. All right? Here's what they're doing. These three things, and I'm going to show you a video from Eric Pratt in a second. 1, extending our engaged in the business case, so they're extending it versus killing it. Trying to moot our Michigan CCW case. Again, extend it, basically make it go away. Trying to moot our zero tolerance case. All are capable of repetition, and DOJ is evading review. This is the payoff right there. They are capable of repetition, which means a new administration comes in and they're going to do the same damn thing. Knock this out, kill it, bury it 6 feet under the ground. That's what GOA is asking for, and they're right. All right, let me play a few seconds here of Eric Pratt, the SVP from GOA, and then we're going to wrap this up and tie it all together.
Fighting for your rights. And today I need to talk to you about something important and a bit disappointing. For the third time since President Trump took office, GOA is having to continue to fight one of his agencies in court. We were really hoping to work things out together because, let's be clear, the Trump administration has done a lot of great things for gun owners, way more than in President Trump's first term. From rolling back Biden-era regulations to standing up for our rights, they've been a breath of fresh air. Unfortunately, there have been a few times now where we've had to continue previous legal action because the administration has opposed real progress on 3 key issues. Again, we're supportive of the many pro-gun moves this administration is making, but we're not going to let anyone, even allies, ruin the incredible opportunities we have to secure long-lasting victories and prevent the weaponization of the ATF that we saw under Biden. So let me break this down for you.
All right, and I'll link the description box down there, that whole video, so you guys can watch it. But here's the bottom line. As we go through this, you have a chance to be one of 2 things in the Trump administration DOJ. You can be effective or you can be proactive. If you want to be effective, then what you do is you say, hey, we're going to stop those things, which we've covered on this channel for 6 months. We're going to stop these things they're pushing forward. They're bad, Biden administration, evil, get it out of here, go away. Okay, that's step 1. Step 2 is completely get rid of the cases so they can never do it again and prevent it from being done again. Basically, kick it out the door and then nail the door shut. That's what we are asking for. That's what GOA is asking for. That's what Eric Pratt was just alluding to. You cannot keep flirting with gun control because the more you flirt with gun control, the more votes you're going to lose from the gun rights community. I'm telling you, I know. And then you're also going to leave the door open for the next administration of a Gavin Newsom or an AOC to come in and go, copy, paste, let's do Biden 2.0. That's the problem. And we're going to fix it by changing the culture. Everything will be linked in the description box below. I can't wait to hear what you guys think. And of course, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, turn the notification bell on. I will see you later.